Darius Kane boarded the first-class cabin of Apex Airways Flight 512 to Los Angeles, his custom suit fitting like a second skin, the weight of his leather briefcase, a familiar companion after closing another multi-million-dollar deal in New York, his life a symphony of success as the founder and CEO of Kane Dynamics, a tech giant revolutionizing sustainable energy, but also the silent majority owner of Apex Airways, an investment he kept discreet to experience the service authentically, settling into seat 1 Ampere with a nod to the flight attendant whose name tag read Sarah. Her smile, professional but fleeting, as she greeted the white businessman across the aisle with effusive warmth. "Welcome aboard, Mr. Thompson. Your usual champagne?" she asked, carefully pouring the bubbly with a flourish. Darius noting the disparity but brushing it off as he opened his laptop to review quarterly reports, the cabin filling with affluent passengers, suits discussing stocks, a celebrity scrolling her phone, Sarah moving through service, offering hot towels and beverages, her tone shifting cooler as she reached Darius. Towel? Dropping it without eye contact? His pre-ordered scotch ignored while others received theirs. Darius politely reminding, "I believe I pre-ordered the Macallan." Sarah's response curt, "We're out juice or water?" Despite the fully stocked cart visible, Darius exhaling, years of navigating microaggressions as a black executive teaching him patience. But curiosity piqued. Activating his phone's recording app discreetly, the flight taking off smoothly, meal service beginning with gourmet options filet mignon for the aisle neighbor, lobster for the couple behind, but Sarah placing before Darius a tray with a sandwich visibly moldy, green spots dotting the bread, her smirk subtle as she walked away. "Enjoy," Darius, lifting the lid, the stale odor confirming it, his pulse quickening not from anger but recognition. This was deliberate. Passengers glancing curiously, the man across asking, "That looks off, want me to say something?" Darius shaking his head, "I'll handle it." Pressing the call button, Sarah returning with feigned surprise. "Problem?" Darius calmly. "This sandwich is moldy." "I'd like what I ordered." Her retort. "That's all we have for." Certain passengers, the implication hanging, Darius's voice even. "Certain passengers?" Sarah leaning in. "You know, upgrades or points real first class gets priority." Her whisper caught on recording, "These seats aren't for everyone." Darius's eyes narrowing, years of boardroom battles preparing him, pulling out his phone to email the airline's HR head he knew personally, investigate Flight 512 discrimination in progress, attaching a photo of the moldy food, Sarah retreating with a huff, whispering to colleague Mike. These types always complain, thinks he owns the place, unaware of the cabin mic system Darius had installed fleet-wide for quality control. Accessing it via app to confirm recording, the flight continuing as Darius documented exchanges, a white passenger intervening. "That's not right. Give him a proper meal," Sarah's snap. "Mind your business." Escalating tension, Darius staying composed, messaging board chair. Potential crisis on Apex flight bias evident, handling discreetly. The man in 1B leaning over. "I've seen this before, want me to call corporate?" Darius declining. "Appreciate it, but I've got this." The moldy insult no longer just personal but a catalyst for exposure. Sarah returning with water instead of scotch, her tone dripping condescension. "This should suffice." Darius capturing it all. The cabin buzzing with whispers. The flight attendant's attitude shifting the atmosphere. Passengers exchanging looks. The black man in 1 Ampere handling it with remarkable poise. Mike approaching. "Sir, let's not make a scene." Darius replying. "The scene was made when I was served rotten food." The confrontation brewing as Sarah muttered under her breath. Always playing the victim, the recording picking up every word. Darius's email to HR pinging with response. Team alerted. Keep evidence flowing. The plane hitting turbulence, mirroring the rising storm in the cabin, Sarah's bias unraveling in real time as Darius prepared his next move, the subtle slight evolving into a full-blown reckoning that would shake the airline to its core. Passengers beginning to side, a woman in 2C murmuring, "That's unacceptable." The man in 1B nodding agreement. The moldy sandwich sitting like evidence on his tray. Darius's calm exterior masking the strategic mind calculating how to turn this injustice into a lesson for the entire industry, the flight's smooth altitude belying the turbulence of human prejudice below, Sarah glancing back with unease, sensing the shift but too late to reverse, the slight no longer isolated but a spark igniting a firestorm of accountability, Darius's phone vibrating with bored responses, full support proceed as needed, the chapter of the subtle slight closing on a note of impending confrontation, the moldy food, a symbol of deeper rot that Darius would expose with calculated precision, the air thick with anticipation as Sarah whispered to Mike, "He's just one passenger, what can he do?" Unaware that one passenger was about to change everything, the reckoning brewing like the storm outside, ready to break with thunderous force, the moldy slight not the end but the beginning of a transformation that would redefine service and equality in the skies. Darius's quiet power, a force no bias could withstand, the chapter's tension mounting as the flight pressed on, the moldy insult, a turning point in a story of justice waiting to unfold. As turbulence shook the cabin, Darius reviewed the captured audio. Sarah's slurs clear. "He doesn't belong up here. Probably flew coach his whole life." His email to HR pinging with response, "Investigating immediately, keep documenting." The confrontation brewing as Sarah returned for trash collection, her sneer at Darius's untouched tray. "Not good enough for you?" Darius replying, "No, moldy food isn't perhaps explained to the captain." Sarah's eyes widening, "You're threatening me?" Calling Mike. This passenger's disruptive, Mike approaching, "Sir, calm down or we'll involve security." Darius's voice steady, "I'm calm, requesting fair service." Passengers murmuring support, an elderly woman, "He's right that sandwich looks spoiled." Sarah snapping, "Stay out of it." The captain's announcement, "Crew, report any issues." Sarah rushing to the cockpit, Darius texting board chair, "Escalation, imminent discrimination confirmed via audio." The captain emerging, "Mr. Kane, you're causing tension, comply or we divert." Darius revealing, "As owner, I demand investigation, Captain Shock owner." Darius nodding, "Check manifest, I'm Darius Kane." The revelation rippling, Sarah paling, "Impossible." Captain verifying, face falling, "We didn't know." Darius retorting, "Shouldn't matter, treat all equally." Passengers applauding, one filming, "This is viral material." Sarah's defense crumbling. It was a joke, but audio playback exposing slurs, captain ordering restraint, but Darius insisting, "Divert. If you must, truth will out." The flight diverting to Chicago. Passengers groaning but many thanking Darius. "You're standing for us all." Mid-air reckoning turning personal insult into public stand. Sarah's career teetering as Darius coordinated with ground team. The bias exposed mid-flight setting stage for landing justice, the captain's voice crackling over the intercom with forced authority. "Ladies and gentlemen, due to unforeseen circumstances, we'll be making an unscheduled landing in Chicago. Please remain seated." The cabin buzzing with confusion and frustration, passengers checking watches and muttering about connections, Darius staying composed, his phone lighting up with messages from the board. Footage reviewed, shocking full support for action, and from his assistant, media sniffing, "Prepare statement." Darius replying, "Hold focus on containment." Sarah and Mike huddling in the galley, their whispers frantic. How could he own the airline? "We're screwed." Unaware Darius's app still capturing via the open mic. The elderly woman across the aisle leaning over. "Young man, that was brave. I've seen too much of this in my day." Darius nodding gratefully. Change starts with speaking up. A businessman in row 3 standing, I recorded it too, sending to my network. The support snowballing as more passengers voiced solidarity. This is unacceptable in 2025. Sarah emerging pale. Attempting damage control. Sir, perhaps we can offer a voucher. Darius's response measured. A voucher won't fix systemic bias. The captain reappearing. Face ashen after a radio call. Mr. Kane, we've been instructed to continue to LA diversion cancelled. But Darius shaking his head. Too late land in Chicago for crew change. The power shift palpable. Sarah's smirk long gone, replaced by panic as she realized the gravity. Passengers cheering the reversal. About time! The plane banking toward O'Hare. Darius emailing the full audio to HR. Initiate terminations evidence attached. The reckoning accelerating as ground control confirmed. VIP team awaiting. Sarah confronting Darius quietly. You can't do this, it's my livelihood. His reply, firm. You chose prejudice over professionalism, consequences follow. The landing smooth but tense, doors opening to airline execs boarding, Lisa from HR addressing Sarah, your relieved escort off plane, Sarah's protests, he provoked me, falling flat against the footage, Mike and Captain following suit, suspended pending review. Passengers disembarking with upgrades promised, many shaking Darius's hand. Thank you for fighting. The mid-air drama concluding with justice served cold, the racist veil torn, paving way for reforms that would echo beyond one flight. But the immediate aftermath saw Darius in a private lounge at O'Hare, conferencing with the board via video. This isn't isolated data, shows 42 similar complaints dismissed, proposing immediate actions, crew firings, passenger compensations of $15,000 each, public apology, the chairman agreeing, implement now your vision. Darius drafting the statement. Apex Airways regrets the discriminatory treatment on Flight 512 and commits to zero-tolerance policies, social media exploding with number Apex racism, viral videos from passengers boosting the call for change, Sarah's name trending negatively as her past complaints surfaced, her union disavowing. No defense for racism. Darius returning to LA on a private jet arranged by the company, reflecting on the day's toll. One sandwich, one stand could spark industry shift, Ethan's text. Proud dinner when back? Their budding romance, a light amid the storm. The chapter of reckoning mid-air now grounding in systemic overhaul. Darius's calm resolve turning a personal slight into a corporate revolution. The Moldy incident becoming a case study in accountability, with whispers of lawsuits from affected passengers adding pressure. The airline's stock dipping 8% but rebounding on reform announcements, Darius vowing in a follow-up email, "This is just the beginning, full audit by week's end." The reckoning's wings spreading wide as justice took flight. But the board meeting the next day was tense. Old Guard members pushing back. This overreaction could cost us customers, Darius countering with data. Inaction costs more lawsuits, pending from 15 passengers. Presenting a reform package, AI-flagged interactions, mandatory diversity hires, quarterly audits, the vote close, but passing 7-5, immediate implementation ordered. Sarah's union filing grievance but withdrawing after footage review. Her job hunt fruitless as the story followed her, eventually shifting to non-service roles. Captain facing FAA inquiry for false diversion. License revoked for 6 months. Mike resigning quietly. The airline's new CEO, a black woman promoted from within, crediting Darius's stand. He saved us from ourselves. Public campaigns launching with number fly equal, ads featuring diverse passengers, stock surging 15% as brand loyalty grew among minorities. Darius founding Apex Equity Alliance for airline workers of color, providing scholarships and legal aid, Kai interning as teen, learning business ethics. The twins inspired to pursue aviation, Leo as pilot, Leah as designer, Ethan's firm handling pro bono cases for discrimination victims, family vacations to global destinations on Apex, where Darius anonymously checked service, finding improvements but pushing for more, a documentary Moldy Skies winning awards, funding anti-bias programs. Darius's memoir Served Cold bestseller donating proceeds to civil rights, The Moldy Slight. A distant memory but eternal lesson, the chapter of soaring reforms closing with Darius on a flight, served impeccably, smiling at the diverse crew. We've come far, but the journey continues. The legacy a sky without limits, where justice soars on wings of change. Zara's victory in court marked the dawn of a new era. The judge's gavel echoing like a liberation bell, as she walked out with Kai by her side. The twins in strollers pushed by Ethan, her lawyer-turned-partner whose steadfast support had blossomed into love during those late-night strategy sessions, amid legal briefs and whispered confessions, their first public outing as a family, drawing flashes from paparazzi but Zara holding her head high. This is our truth, embrace it or step aside, the media frenzy shifting from scandal to admiration as influencers praised her courage. Number Zara strong, trending with stories of women reclaiming power from betrayal. Back at the penthouse, the atmosphere transformed. Walls once cold now adorned with the twins' finger paintings and Kai's school awards. Family dinners becoming rituals where Zara shared recipes from her grandmother's kitchen, spicy jollof rice and plantains, symbolizing roots. Reclaimed Ethan joining seamlessly, his dry humor lightening moods. Proposing on a yacht under Manhattan's skyline with a ring engraved, "From Rain to Rain," the wedding a fusion of elegance and culture. Zara in a gown blending African prints with couture lines, vows exchanged before a diverse crowd of tech moguls and community leaders. Kai as best man, the twins' flower bearers, the honeymoon in the Caribbean doubling as a scouting trip for foundation sites. Zara launching the Elisa Lennox initiative for street orphans, channeling millions into programs, shelters with holistic care, education grants, vocational training drawing from Kai's hardships to design mentorship models where survivors like him trained as counselors, the Foundation's first center in Harlem becoming a beacon, hosting events where Kai spoke to at-risk youth. From rain-soaked despair to this warmth it's possible, with one act of kindness, moving donors to pledge record sums. Zara's speech honoring Elisa, "She gave life where I couldn't." Her legacy lives through us, tears flowing as the twins toddled on stage, symbolizing unity, the initiative expanding to 12 cities within a year, partnering with governments for policy changes on orphan rights, Zara testifying before Congress on child welfare. Her story swaying votes for increased funding. Victor's final appeal denied, his disgrace complete as embezzlement charges stuck, leading to prison time. Zara visiting him once, "I forgive you not for you, but for me," her mercy a lesson in grace. Kai graduating high school valedictorian. Speech dedicating to the woman who stopped in the rain and gave us wings. Attending MIT on full scholarship, majoring in social entrepreneurship. The twins, Leo and Leah, excelling in arts and sciences. Leo inventing an app for foster matching. Leah painting murals in shelters depicting hope from hardship. Their teen years filled with travels to foundation sites in Kenya and Brazil, learning global perspectives on poverty and resilience. Ethan and Zara adopting 2 more orphans. A brother-sister pair from Haiti, the family growing to 6 kids. Holidays, a vibrant mix of traditions, Kwanzaa candles alongside Christmas trees, Easter hunts with African drum circles, Zara's empire evolving with ethical AI for orphan tracking, preventing trafficking, Ethan heading legal aid for immigrants, their penthouse a hub for activists and leaders, hosting dinners where ideas sparked revolutions in child protection laws. Challenges arising like a foundation scandal embezzlement by a manager, but Zara's quick audit and prosecution, turning it into a transparency model. Trust is earned daily, she said in interviews. Kai marrying his college sweetheart, a humanitarian doctor, their wedding in the Harlem Center with former street kids as guests, grandchildren arriving, filling the home with new energy, Zara teaching them chess as life metaphors, strategy over force. Ethan's storytelling recounting rain day as legend. The family volunteering annually in soup kitchens, reminding of origins. Zara's health scare a minor stroke prompting reflection. Life's true wealth is love given freely. Recovering with family by side. Kai taking foundation CEO role, innovating with VR empathy training for donors. The twins launching their ventures. Leo, a non-profit for tech in orphanages. Leah, an art therapy program. Ethan retiring to write on family law. Their golden years in a seaside villa, consulting on global reforms. Gardens blooming with memorials, trees for Elisa, Marcus. Lost opportunities, walks evoking gratitude. We turn tears into triumphs. Zara whispering to Ethan, their hands clasped watching sunsets. The legacy, a symphony of saved lives, where one rainy stop birthed endless ripples of hope, inspiring generations to halt for the vulnerable, proving betrayal's darkness yields to love's dawn. The horizons eternal, as compassion's flame burned bright.